this is real, like, big shit. It's not just like some kid in his room with the fucking, beat machine and just trying to sell his beats on SoundCloud or something.
Straight up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You're working with some big time artists.
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought you got to do anything you do at the highest level. And it's just never been an option for me not to do that. I only work with the best.
Thank you. Hell yeah. My guy.
Let's go.
Ladies and
get
gents.
into it?
Ladies and gents.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the 25A podcast.
Hey, Zerskis.
We got a very special guest with us today. One of our good friends has become one of our very good friends in the last, 6 months that we've been hanging out kind of every day. It feels like,
Smoking cigars, watching the games, making some bets.
The guy that got me addicted to cigars. The guy that got me addicted to cigars.
That's right.
Cigars.
I told you the benefits.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
What are the benefits?
Higher testosterone,
Hey.
brain clarity. No one believes me, but I tell everyone it's good for you.
I have to look that up about the tests, bro. If not, I'm going to smoke more of them. If your testosterone bumps because of them.
So I'm telling you.
Bro, he's going to be on like 3 a day now.
I'm just smoking cigars at the gym, bro.
That's why we got these small ones now, huh?
Yeah.
I got you into them.
Little shot of Nick.
Cigarros.
But welcome everyone to the 25A podcast. Our boy, Don Dali.
Let's
Woo.
go. Thank you for having me,
bro.
boys.
Fuck
I'm
yeah,
glad
man.
to be
Let's go.
here.
It's been some time coming, so
Let's go.
we're glad to finally have you on. I remember when I first saw you, bro. It was like this godly figure with long hair. I'm like, who is this motherfucker?
Literally.
I was like walking my dog.
Like 6'5", long hair, beautiful man.
Yeah, I know, right? And then
It's like, oh.
I'd see him walking dogs, and I'd have my dog, and I'd see him in the elevator all the time until one day, we're walking back from like the store, and I was like, so what's up, bro? Like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I'm in music. What do you do? I'm like, oh, finance. And then he's like, you smoke cigars? Oh, no, you saw us with the cigars. I remember that.
Yeah, you guys were picking up the cigars.
Yeah. And you're like, yeah, I got like 3,000 upstairs. You guys can come check out my collection sometime.
Literally.
And yeah, man. But Dali, man, let's get into it, brother.
Let's go.
So yeah, give us a little bit of a backstory. First of all, you're in music, right? How the hell did you even how young were you when you first picked up an instrument? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What made you? I know a little bit about like your family background. Everyone seems pretty like into something, but you're into music and the arts. Your brother's in sports.
Yeah,
right?
my brother's a professional tennis player in Australia. Yeah, but I'm the only one in music. I started when I was 10.
Damn.
And just started playing classical double bass. That was my instrument.
No shit.
Yeah, and then just progressed until I got onto electric bass, moved into, just got really good at that. I was practicing 15 hours a day, got into Berklee. And then at Berklee, that's when all the real work started. That's when I was practicing
All the technical
all day,
shit.
every day. I was, playing with some of the best players in the world, recorded my jazz album there. And, that's also where I realized there's no future in jazz. You just don't make money in it.
I love jazz, though.
Jazz
That's
is
the
great.
thing.
I love jazz too.
Especially smoking like cigars.
But it doesn't pay the
or
bills, right?
It doesn't pay the bills.
yeah.
And, to this day, I really love it, but it's just not sustainable.
Yeah.
And I realized I love other parts of music equally, if not more. I reckon these days, I love what I'm doing way more than what I was doing back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But take us back a little bit. So obviously, you're not from America. You have the accent. So take us through like the journey a little bit. Give us a little bit of synopsis of where
how'd you get
the
to
mini
Berklee?
Don Dali.
Okay, so Berklee was interesting because I had a couple options. I could stay in Australia, do just like study at the Brisbane Conservatorium. I knew that's not what I wanted though, because the quality's not there. It's just for music, quality's not there in Australia.
Got you.
I remember actually talking to my director of music in high school, and he was saying that music illiteracy is the highest in Australia than anywhere in the world.
Really?
Yeah, it's just not taught. It's just not importance isn't placed on it. It's in STEM subjects, which is sweet. I understand that fully, but I knew I had to come to the US, study at Berklee College music, and that decision was made while I was touring in China. So I was touring.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Bring that back. What do you mean touring in China?
Yes, I was touring in China. I toured China for like 3 years
With the
in
band?
high school. Yeah. With a big band playing jazz.
Playing the bass.
Yeah, playing bass.
Damn.
And that was a sick experience. But what I realized was after talking with actually an American chick that I met in China that was in an American band playing there at a festival. She was applying to go to Berklee. And that's when I realized, like, I really have to get my shit together. I have to get really good because that's where it's at, you know? So that's when I really started getting into it and working hard in it, because there's a reason why we're not really good at music in Australia. And I'm generalizing right now. There are some really great musicians I know in Australia, but I'm talking about the general. Generally, we're not that great because we don't put the work into it.
Right.
And I understand it. I'm from the Gold Coast. It's a city by the beach. You know, it's like, why would I want to put the work in? Why would I want to spend 15 hours a day when I could be relaxing by the beach?
Yeah.
You know, Miami's a little bit like that.
It
Lucky I
is.
got my shit
Dude,
together these days.
Bro, honestly, I want to give you props for that. Actually, you say you have you're like that now, but bro, you're super disciplined. You know what I mean? I don't want to put your age out there either, but for your age and how I feel like short amount of time you've been doing it, even though it feels like you've been doing it forever. You have been doing it forever. You're just so mature for your age, bro, and I think that comes into play, and it kind of shows in your music and the stuff that you put out there now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not
Thank you, bro.
Mids or kind of entry level stuff. Like, your stuff's the fucking shit. We smoke cigars with him, and he's kind of in our ear with his music and like showing us his production and some of the stuff he makes and produces, and I'm just like, this is real, like, big shit. It's not just like some kid in his room with the fucking beat machine and just trying to sell his beats on SoundCloud or something.
Straight up.
Yeah, man.
You're working with some big time artists.
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought you got to do anything you do at the highest level, and it's just never been an option for me not to do that. So whatever I do, I get obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So even this, after I still play bass. I still mainly just when I really love to play with someone these days, I'll go out and play with them. One of my boys will be like, "Yo, Dali, we got a gig. We need a bass player." I'll weigh up if like that's actually what I want to do. If I'm boys with him, I'll be like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah.
For the love of it, right?
For the love of it, yeah. Because I know the pay's not going to be good. Like, it's not going to be there.
Yeah.
If anything, it'll be a couple $100.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, that's really how I've gotten everything going, by just putting in the work.
Where do you think you get that discipline from?
I'm not sure. I feel like it's probably been handed down to me.
Yeah.
My parents are very disciplined as well, but I've always been like that. Like, I talk to my mum about it sometimes, and she's told me, like, you've been like that since young.
Forever,
so
yeah.
it's like, how people always like nature versus nurture,
Right.
all that. I feel like this is a little bit of a nature thing, like just being obsessed with something.
It's your personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because discipline really, at least for me, discipline comes when I really want to do it.
Right.
Like, discipline didn't come like in the form of math
Yeah.
or science or none of that. I quit it in high school.
Shit.
Yeah, I used to
Same,
skip.
bro.
Yeah, I used to skip math classes and go to the music
Shit. Sorry,
department.
Mom.
I mean, they know. I
The
told them
truth
straight
comes
up.
out.
I was like, look, I'm going to tell you guys what's important to me, and I know how I need you guys to trust me and trust me how I'm going to get there. I know how I'm going to get there. I got to put in the work.
I love that.
And I was really close with my director of music in high school, and he'd let me come in. He'd give me the keys.
What?
Yeah, it
Going
was
after hours, all that.
after hours. I'd be there until like 8, 9 p.m. It was just like, make sure you lock up. We had the music studios as well. I was captain of music.
Damn.
That's sick.
That's
dude.
crazy.
So how does that discipline translate to your time at Berklee? How was your time at Berklee?
It was sick. It was a lot of work, and Boston's a tough city with work because
Cold as fuck.
it's cold. so like, you have no choice but to put in the work. I mean, sure, there are parties and stuff, but like,
Yeah.
the work is there. You just have to do it. And Berklee does a good job of kicking your butt. Like I had some professors there that would really kick
keep
my
you in
butt.
check.
I might have told you guys in the past, I've had nightmares about some of my professors.
Bro,
it's like that movie Whiplash at times.
I was about to bring that up. Yeah, you and I
Yeah.
spoke about that. Like Whiplash. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Whiplash, but it's pretty Nazi. You know what I mean? It's boot camp, bro. Like these professors aren't fucking around.
Demonetized.
Like, they'll make you cry, right? They'll fucking break
Yeah,
you
man,
down
it's tough, but I honestly believe that's how you get good at something. Like
sure.
you if you can't do it yourself, like if you can't be that person for yourself, you do need that person just like breathing down your neck, telling you keep it going.
pushing
You
you.
know?
That'd be so tough
sure.
for me. I'd want to like elbow one of them in the face or something, like get out of here. But it's respect, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they're doing it for your better, your greater
Yeah.
good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I
it's
mean,
like
and you pay for it too. Like
Exactly.
most of the kids at Berklee are paying what $250,000 or something. I don't
crazy.
even know. I was there on a scholarship, so
lucky you, bro. That's
Yeah.
sick.
Damn.
So from Berklee, you were at the point of getting to graduate. Where did you think, or where did you see Don Dali going from Berklee?
yeah. So it started in Berklee. That's when I started venturing out of jazz, and that's when I got into producing and especially Brazilian music. And I know it's really random because everyone.
Yeah, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But finish
Yeah, I
that.
mean, everyone always asks me like Dali, how'd you get into Brazilian music? Because
Yeah,
that
well,
is so
especially being
random.
from Australia, like that's so random.
As an Australian, like, and even to this day, like I'm working with some of the top guys in the industry now in Latin music or Brazilian music, and they always ask like why.
Yeah.
And so I'll tell you, I'll go back to that point. That was a couple years ago, maybe like going on to 3 years now. So I was online and I saw a video and it had this style called Brazilian funk over the video. And I was like, I was just asking myself, I was like, why isn't this, why don't I know about this? Why haven't I heard this before? And so I did some more digging. I found like the top guys in the industry there, and I hit up some of the guys that had like viral songs from 10 years ago.
Artists.
Yeah. And I hit them up. I was like, hey, like I'm a jazz guy. I want to see what we can do together. Like, let's see if we can fuse something together. So I'd produce a couple tracks and I'd send them to these guys.
Where were they?
Where were they?
Yeah.
They were in Brazil. Yeah. and so I'd
straight to the source, man.
yeah, I was on Google Translate to Portuguese. I hit them up and I was like, hey, let's do a jazz Brazilian funk project.
Crazy.
And I'd send them the songs, and I heard back from one guy and he had like a song that had like 100 million streams or something. I forgot his name.
One of the MCs. Huh?
Yeah, but he did the song "Oh Na Na Na," and I don't know if you guys know that song.
One more time.
Yeah,
Let me see.
So, but I sent him the track and he was like, "No, we do it more simple in Brazil."
Oh,
and I was like,
shit.
"Okay, I can do that. Let me simplify the track."
Right.
So I strip it down and I send it back to him, and so he listens to it again. He writes back to me. He goes, "Nah, it needs to be more simple."
Wow.
So I go, "All right."
Bro, I've been at Berklee the last 4 years working on making things fucking great, and you're telling me to dumb it down, like
Right. I mean,
what?
that's the thing that a lot of guys don't get. Like, you learn everything. You learn how to make everything complex, and then the real art comes when you have to bring it back down for the broader audience.
Mm-hmm.
And so I send it back to him, and he goes, "Nah, I need it more simple." And I go, "All right."
So it's like the fourth round of back and forth.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
and we got to the point where he just didn't reply to me anymore.
No,
and I understand it. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
That's
for
true
sure.
because in a musician's ear, like they pay attention to every single little sound and detail, but to the general audience, sometimes it just sounds like too much going on.
Yeah.
Right? So is that what he meant maybe by like just kind of sipping it
too
down?
many notes.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it was the goal for, you know, the past years was play as many notes as you can. And then afterwards, I've realized that that's just not the way that the majority of people listen to their music.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's when everything really changed, you know.
Did you hit another guy up, or what was it in that Brazilian funk kind of world that you were like, all right, cool, I'm gonna keep going with this, or like someone actually finally fucked with me in this, you know what I mean? Like I can actually, you know, keep going, or someone's understanding, or I'm understanding. You know, was there like an artist or a song that you were like,
Or a studio session you were in, like boom,
Yeah.
like just clicked.
Well, I kept trying. I kept hitting people up, and some people would reply, some people wouldn't. And some big guys, I'd like hit them up, I'd DM them, and some of them would reply. But what I realized was I had to get sort of like start from the bottom a little bit. And so just like hit it straight from the source. And so I started working with guys in, you know, deep in the favelas of Sao Paulo.
the favelas, bro?
Yeah, bro.
Jeez.
So
You never went out there though, right?
no, I never went
Yeah,
out
man.
there.
Not yet.
No, not yet. You know, I have a lot of fans out there, a lot of listeners, and
Fuck yeah.
a lot of colleagues now. You know, and the guys that I have a lot of love for. So I really do want to get out there very soon, and I'm sure I will. But yeah, no, back when I was doing that, I still hadn't been out there, so it was all just Google Translate. We didn't have ChatGPT back then either. It hadn't developed to the
Google
point where it
Translate.
is now. It's just
Do you
Google
remember having to
Translate.
write your own sentences?
For real.
Man, I remember how bad my Portuguese was, like just coming straight into it. But it's gone better and better now. But yeah, like I just tried and kept going and started working with these guys until I ended up working with this one guy, MC Deluxe. And we released together for the first time on January 3rd, 2023. That's like a date that always rings in my mind because
Hell yeah.
that's like the day I dropped my first release as Don Dali in Brazilian funk. And so he really like set everything off like that. From then it was we grew his project from 100,000 monthly listeners. I think I started working with him around then to his most recent stats was about 10.5 million
From
A
100,000.
month?
a month.
Holy
yeah.
100,000 to 10 million.
Yeah, so we started working together at 100,000 around then. And then it's just been exponential since then.
So do you think you're part of his success?
Definitely part of it. But that
sure.
that dude works hard too.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah, but you complement each other.
Yeah.
That's
know?
how it always is. Like
course.
I feel like with artist, producer, and artist now that I have with myself, you always find a way. Like it's like you need the Robin to your Batman
sure.
to your Robin. You know that's how the world works. You
1000%.
need teammates.
Exactly,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
100%.
Damn, that's crazy.
But yeah, from him, it just got up to. I actually remember Deluxe was the guy that introduced me to GW, and so Deluxe at the point where he introduced me to GW was doing me a massive favor, and I asked him directly. I was like, "Hey, I have a really cool project for GW. I'm in talks with this Dominican guy, Angel Dior, who has songs with like Karol G, Raul Alejandro, El Alfa. And I asked Deluxe, I have a great opportunity for GW. Can you put me in touch? And so he did.
Damn.
And
How long ago was that?
I think we released that song in February of last year. So February
about a year after you
2024.
guys started working together.
About a year after, yeah. And then that really just kicked it off. Like from there, it was MC Pipoquinha, MC Magrinho, MC Flavinho, MC, you know, all the MCs.
Yeah.
Everyone.
He just kind of not threw you a bone, but he helped catapult like what you were already doing to then just take it to the next level.
Yeah, it's just those introductions, and I'm very blessed to have you know, some great people around me like him and other people. You know, I've met countless people in the industry that believe in the vision. It's all about the vision, you know.
Well, and it's the vibe and the energy. Like, you know, he knows, and I feel like you know, kind of like me as well. Is like I'm very, at first, like not necessarily quiet in that sense, but
Should I say the truth?
Just more of an asshole, I guess, if you want to call it. Just because like I'm close to the chest, right? Like I have my people, my family, my boys, this, that, the other, and then like okay, once I start to get to know you, but you have more of this like you're calm, cool, and collective, but you still have this like energy and like vibration. So I feel like when you are meeting these MCs and they see that in you, so they're more inclined to be like, yo, his work is dope and he's a dope dude. Like, if he asks for a favor, like, I'm going to give him that favor.
Definitely have the swag.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. I think it's, and I think it's definitely helped everyone involved. Like, that song has, to this day, I think 1.5 million streams, somewhere around there. And, you know, that's probably one of the earliest songs in my career. So it's only up from there. You know, 1.5, when we have this conversation in 5 years, 1.5 million is going to be nothing. You know, but for now, 2 years, pretty much 2 years into the project, it's a great start, you know.
Absolutely, bro.
So what have you been working on a little bit more recently?
Yeah, so recently
what artists, should I say, sorry.
Yeah, artist-wise, as a producer, it's been a great time, you know, living in Miami now. I have access to a lot of artists. Yeah. And some of them include Pitbull, actually. They asked me to Mr. 305. They asked me to do the Pitbull Bon Jovi remix of Now and Ever.
That's
there's also Gente de Zona. They asked me to do the remix of their last album. There's this Venezuelan salsa singer called Jonathan Molly, who's really, really big in Latin America, and he's got a great sound. I really enjoyed working with his music.
How has it been connecting with these artists? Like, are you kind of reaching out to them directly, or has it gotten to a point now where things are just kind of like your name's popping up and they kind of just start reaching out? Are you guys connected with the same people? You know?
Yeah, it's more mutual these days. You know, I think I've taken the project to a certain point where my name's definitely in some circles, and people know the work I do, which is, you know, the most important thing, and trust me with their work, which is a real honor for me. So with Pitbull, for example, I went to the studio with.
That's so sick.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, Dali, what's up, bro? Let's go smoke a cigar. Oh, sorry, bro. I'm on my way to 305 Studios. I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm like,
you know that? I was like, Pitbull?
Right.
Yeah, bro, I'm on my way over there. I was like, okay, my bad, bro. Yeah.
So I played some of my music for them there, and then and Robert Fernandez from Mr. 305 asked me on the spot, yo, you want to do the remix for Pitbull? I was like, obviously.
You're like, say less.
100%, fam.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the release of that now, and yeah, no, just some great artists. Like I'm working with this one artist. He was big on Disney Channel in Latin America, Yandino. This other artist, Tostal.
Just a grip of them.
Yeah.
Just a lot of Latin artists now.
Has that come from being now in Miami, that you're kind of getting connected to these Latin artists? Is that why you moved to Miami?
Mainly, yeah. So I'm also Latin Grammy Cultural Foundation ambassador. So that's like also one of the reasons why I moved to Miami. It's where my circle is.
For sure.
I feel like as much as when people ask me why I'm in Latin music, I also think that Latin music is, also coming to me naturally as well.
Yeah.
Because all these doors keep opening in Latin music that I guess have indirectly, you know, tried to open, but it's more so indirect these days that those doors are opening.
That's crazy, man. So you've been working hard. I feel like these last couple of months, if not year or whatever, on a specific project. That we've kind of been hearing a lot of, and tell us a little bit about it. I don't want to name it or anything like that. I want you to introduce it to us, bro. What did you recently just start?
Yeah, so it's been out for 2 weeks now. It's my debut album.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank
Debut
you.
album.
Thank
My
you, guys.
guy right here.
Yeah, so it's been out for 2 weeks. Passaporte is the name. It's a joint album with MCGW.
Fuck.
And so if you guys don't know about MCGW, he's the second most streamed artist in Brazil after Anitta. He had like 3 billion streams last year.
That's insane.
I'm not making that up either.
Go fact check
No,
that.
bro, he has like 1 million followers on Instagram. Like I've seen his numbers as well.
And on Spotify is just crazy. He's like the 300th biggest artist in the world right now. So we released the joint album. In the first week, I think we had like 1.7, 1.8 million streams.
Bro, that's insane.
So
how was that like laying down in bed? Did you sleep with just like a heart on? Like, hell yeah.
Refreshing Spotify.
Just
I mean,
like
you guys
with the big ass smile on his face, bro.
Yeah, you guys already know. I'm on Spotify for artists, just refreshing.
Yep.
But no, it's like It's never enough, It's just steps, It's like a ladder, just like climbing up the ladder.
Exactly.
And no, but it's really exciting to like sit back and reflect on the hard work that's been put in there.
Fucking crazy.
And just the people I've worked with, like the guy mixing and mastering the album is a guy by the name of Angelo Corretta, who does Shakira's. He does Bad Bunny. He does Tiny. He does all these guys.
Tiny.
So it's a great honor to work with some of these guys. Some of these guys I've been listening to for years.
Yeah.
What's some of the feedback you've been getting on it?
Well, I was just featured in Billboard.
Hell yeah. Say it with your chest, baby.
bro.
Say it with your
Just
chest.
drops mic, Billboard.
All right,
reach
we're
out
done
to
with
me.
the episode. We'll see you guys later.
And now I'm on 25.8. So
My guy, that's right, baby.
That's
Billboard, watch out.
So yeah, it's great feedback. Honestly,
Yeah.
like people love it. It's been played around the world. I think it's being played in like 170, 180 countries right now. And the album's in Portuguese and Spanish. So it's like not even it's like being played in English speaking countries as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's where my job really comes in as an Australian is and by the way, I want to get this connotation, this that I'm a Latin artist. Misconception. I am partly a Latin music artist, but the main thing I do is electronic music. So the fact that I can be an ambassador for the Latin culture while being an Australian is a big honor for me as well.
Hell yeah.
Because, so many friends I consider family now.
Right.
Are part of that Latin culture that I'm bringing internationally now.
No, and the Latin culture is very kind of tight pick with who they kind of, I don't want to say bring into their circle, but not just anyone is kind of like, all right, cool, welcome into the Latin world.
Tell us, bro.
So
designated Mexican of the
I
group.
know, right? Shit, I'm gonna get deported. Oh shit! I should have talked. I should have said it. But to be accepted by that circle, and you being respected by that, like that speaks volume. You know what I mean? So kudos to you on that for sure.
Well, I noticed how accepting the Brazilian community, especially, was when I first started, doing Brazilian music. I think like very minimal hate comments. Like I'd go online and I'd see just positive comment after positive comment, just so much love and so much love from the industry over there. And I just realized how if like a open culture it is in that
Right.
sort of way, like
Open arms.
They accepted me as an Australian. And, it's cool because in Australia we have a lot of Brazilians too. So I feel like...
Do you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. So I feel like it's the perfect thing for an Australian to finally get into Brazilian music.
Yeah.
So
collab makes sense.
yeah, so it's all happening now. Like I can definitely say I'm the biggest Australian Brazilian music artist.
Dog, doesn't that give you the chills a little bit to be able to say that? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you stand in front of the mirror with your shirt off, like I am the biggest.
I'm him.
I got to get my abs back, bro. That's I will then.
You got to get in the gym with us, bro.
That's crazy.
Bro, I know you're so
Let's do it. I don't wake up at 5 a.m. though.
I know.
Hey, not yet. We'll
We
get
do
you
wake
there.
up at crazy hours. But you're so dedicated to your craft. You know what I mean? So you can't. You know.
Yeah.
But and it's dude. How old are you?
I'm 23.
That's insane.
Blows my mind, bro.
Like-
blows my. I'm 33. You're
Yeah.
23. You're a whole 10 years.
It's
Fucking
decade.
grandpa right here.
My back.
Straight up. But
my
it's
knee
My
hurts.
neck, my back.
it's crazy though, because like the way that you talk, the way that you carry yourself, the experiences you've already had, the connections you've already made, and you're only 23. Like that's something that I'm sure you are, but that's something that you should definitely be proud of.
I appreciate
Like
it, bro. Thank
everything
you.
else, obviously, you want more. Like you said, you have that mentality. That's what we're all about too, obviously, with the podcast. But that's what strikes me with you, like that you are where you're at, not just like accomplishment wise, but like your mindset, the way you carry yourself, and everything else, the way you speak at 23, bro. So
Thank you, bro.
that's a testament to whoever, your parents,
Shout out to
your schools along the way, yourself. So yeah, bro, I just want to say that.
I'm gonna
It's
give
crazy,
you the
bro.
credit, bro, because at the end of the day, it's the person behind the wheel that's
For sure.
fucking in charge. You know what I mean? So kudos to you, dog. You know what I mean? Like
Thank
I said
you.
at the beginning, very disciplined and fuck, man, so respectable. You know what I mean? I genuinely, you know, I know we're homies and everything, but genuinely look up to, you know, people like you. You know what I mean? And I'm so happy that we got you on the podcast because it embodies everything that we're about. You know what I mean? That 25/8, that hustle, that like grind nonstop. Like this is my focus. Dolly, do you want to go out to dinner? Sorry, I'm fucking working on this project.
Sorry, I'm going to 305 studio,
Yeah,
bro.
literally. we try to get this guy out sometimes, and he just is so focused on his grind that it's either a cigar or he's working or that's it. You know what I mean? Sometimes catches the games with us and stuff, but
Yeah.
so dedicated. And it takes that kind of like crazy, you know, like you said, you're so like
He's just obsessed.
obsession. Yeah, it's obsession with something
yeah, it is
to
obsession.
make it work. If you're not obsessed with it, it probably won't work, especially in an industry like music or if you're an athlete or whatever.
And living in Miami, like we've said, like we've talked about it on several occasions, even on the podcast, and it's just like to be that focused and do what you're doing in this city, like that's huge too. Obviously, it opens you up, like you said, to your connections and you know all of that. But it's crazy. So, tell us a little bit about last year. You were at the Latin Grammys.
Yeah.
Bring us into that, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy. So that was me directly representing the Latin Grammy Cultural Foundation. They partly paid for my tuition at Berklee as well. I was
No way.
the only Australian that you know they covered like that, and that was just because I was doing so much in Latin music, you know, and being sort of an ambassador for the culture that I, you know, now I'm a part of, but you know, back then I was just, you know, getting started in, and so yeah, that was a real honor. It was here in Miami, mainly at Kaseya Center, but all over, and I met pretty much everyone there. It's like event after event after event. I even had a breakfast with the board of the Recording Academy.
Crazy.
No shit.
So yeah, it was just
So how's it been now with this project and then already being so involved with the Grammy world? Tell us about this project and kind of what you're doing with it in that world.
yeah. So we're hitting it all the way to the top. We're going going for a Latin Grammy.
Submitted it?
Submitted everything.
Let's go.
And look, we got great chances. Like we've got myself, MCGW on the project,
Hell
and
yeah.
everyone involved in it. You know, it's honestly just an all-star cast of
Your team, bro. You were telling me
Just,
about,
yeah,
you know, from you know,
all-star
PR,
team.
your manager, you know, shout out to her.
Yeah.
Your now publicist, you know, your
Yeah.
attorneys, everyone that you've kind of, like we were talking about, we're having a cigar, the team you've built around you all have that vision of, you know, Don Dali, and that's what you needed. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Right?
yeah, and so many people have been trying to be part of my team but don't see the same vision that I see. And I respect them and all that, but I just need people that share that same vision. So now that I have found and keep finding people that have that same vision,
they emulate your
pushing
vision
it so hard. Yeah. So I think we have great chances to get nominated and maybe win in a couple categories. We're going for Best Latin Electronic Performance for 3 songs, and then another 3 songs we're going Best Portuguese Urban Performance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back to kind of the album a little bit. One of my favorite songs on it is Portunhal. You know what I mean?
Portunhol.
Portunhol. See, I don't even know how to speak Portuguese either, bro. So how is it, making songs for these Spanish artists and like trying to match their vibe when you don't even understand what they're saying?
Yeah, so that specific song was a really cool one because I had that beat, I sort of sitting for a while, and I never let beats sit. There's some producers that like they'll produce for the sake of producing. Mm-hmm. I'll always produce with someone in mind, but that specific one I let it sit, and I didn't really have anything that I was thinking for it, but I knew that it was special. I knew I had to keep it there.
Yeah.
I knew I couldn't just like let it go. So I kept trying to shop it out to artists until it stumbled across me. Why haven't I asked one of my good friends, Moncho Berry, who I went to Berklee with, and he's killing it right now in Latin music as well. He's got great music. He's like an indie alternative artist from Peru.
Okay.
And like thinking back now, I don't know why I didn't ask him sooner, because he was perfect for that track. And we recorded that track when he came back from Peru, and this was while we were still in Boston. And so we recorded that one at Berklee, at the studios there, and I loved it. But the one thing it didn't have was Portuguese, because it was a Brazilian funk song, but not with a Brazilian artist.
Okay.
So what both Moncho and I decided was we need a Brazilian artist on this to sort of give it the
Authenticity,
the life that it deserves. And so when I was doing this album with GW, that was the perfect chance to do that. So that song was sort of on the back burner for a year. We had it all recorded, and we just weren't sure what we were going to do with it until GW hopped on it and he killed his verse. It sounded great. I'm really happy with how it came out. It's your favorite song.
It's my favorite, yeah.
So
I love it. It's sexy, bro. It really
is.
a vibe,
It is.
yeah.
And I mean, the song is literally about, sexiness. It's about, when you really like a girl, but you can't interact with her because you don't know the same language. And I relate to that so much because I'm an Australian that speaks very little Portuguese and very little Spanish.
Yeah.
I mean, Spanish more so because I'm surrounded by it all day, every day. But Portuguese, like it's something that I've really had to, develop.
Yeah. So from you produced the whole album, all the tracks, right?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself staying in that producer role?
Partly,
Partly,
I think I love the production side, so I think it's always part of me, and I love working with other artists, seeing how I can develop their projects and grow their sound as well. So I love that part of the work, and I also love the artistry behind it, which gives me the freedom to, really express what's in my mind. But I think the production side is the core of it all.
For sure.
Yeah.
So who is your dream kind of collaboration? Whether it's a single, an album, EP, whatever that looks like who's that dream person if you already haven't done it?
Yeah, no, there are definitely a couple. In Latin music specifically, I've always, and this might sound cliche, but I love Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Peso Pluma.
That's a Pluma, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, for you especially. I'm going to dedicate that one to you. But no, there's a bunch of other artists like, I mean, I know he's super controversial right now, but Kanye.
Yeah.
Kanye's been a big influence on me musically.
Sure.
You know, his music is, you know, great. It's
Yeah.
gonna 200 years from now, we're gonna be listening to it.
For sure.
Let me see the kicks, Dolly.
Yeah.
That's my guy. No, I mean, apart from the controversy, you know, that guy's a genius. You know,
Yeah.
he's a musical genius.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing in the studio.
For sure.
And so you can't knock that.
No,
Whether
definitely,
you like the
yeah.
guy or not, you at one point were a Kanye West fan because of his music, apart
Yeah.
from him opening his mouth
For
and
sure.
saying whatever.
Oh,
he
100%.
said, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, but there are so many other artists that I think about I could work with very, very well. And I know and I've even talked to some of them and I know how I can get their sound even past their listenership. That's something that I know I do very well, is getting someone's sound past the people they already target.
Right.
Like tap into another kind
Yeah.
of.
I mean, because you know what's
Group
sort
of
of
people.
unique right here, especially in Latin music, is there are no other Australians working in it.
Yeah.
And so,
We need to make Dolly a list of like the first. We're gonna call it the first list. The first Australian to do this.
Yeah.
You have so many, bro.
well, look, it's just I know Australians don't really venture into Latin music. So I literally spoke to one of my PROs lately about it. They wanted to do a Q&A about what I'm doing here, and they were asking like how it is in Latin music and all that, and they were specifically asking so that they can have their readership and like their members sort of like understand a whole new world that is out there,
Yeah.
that is possible, a new sound that is so awesome that is pretty much untapped by Australians because we're so far from
Yeah.
everything. You know, it's
Shit,
such
dude.
a foreign sound for us.
Yeah.
$3,000 just to get over there, bro.
Yeah.
We're looking
26
at
hours later.
Dolly's like, bro, you guys gotta go. You know, the people are.
We're
great,
gonna make it.
this and
We'll
that.
make it.
3
But,
G's.
Fuck,
man.
you guys would love it though.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
So nice.
man.
Especially
Everyone's-
on the Gold Coast. Like,
Oh yeah, dude. I
That's
bet.
where it's
Back
at.
home. Let us know when you go back for Thanksgiving, bro. We're coming.
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
an American
exactly.
holiday.
Oh shit! Yeah, fuck.
They're like, yeah, we don't
My
celebrate
bad.
that.
I was gonna ask. I was gonna follow up with that, but I just didn't want to continue sounding stupid. So thanks for catching it, bro. No, that's
But
good.
so to a kid that's trying to do the same thing, say they're in their basement, they're at their own little studio, whatever the case is, or to your younger self, like what would you tell that person if they're just like they can't get over the hump, or whenever they lack that motivation, that hustle, like what would you tell them as a piece of like inspiration and motivation?
Just to fucking do it. Honestly,
Hey.
there's the amount of times I have zero motivation. It's not about motivation. It's
motivation.
about discipline. So I always even when mates of mine or like people that look up to what I've been doing ask me this same question, I just go, put in the work.
Yeah.
You're not putting in the work. I see what you're doing. Like you're not doing this 24/7. You're not obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
You're not treating it like a full-time job. Because if you do want this as a job, you got to treat it like a job. The amount of people I've had to tell that there are people at McDonald's working harder than you.
Right.
You know,
Straight up,
That's
bro.
crazy, bro.
Like
Yeah.
there are people working a 9 to 5 at McDonald's, and how do you expect to make it work in what you're doing if you're not working
At least-
twice that? You know, so like I just say put in the work because everyone else is doing it. This is cliche too, but there are a million people working way harder than you.
Yep.
And even if you think you're the hardest person working, there's one person that is
For sure.
working so much harder than you. So, yeah, no, it's just laziness. So many.
Lack of discipline,
Yeah.
laziness, whatever you want to call it, but hell yeah.
Yeah, no,
But I
I
mean,
love that.
yeah,
You're so-
I feel it too sometimes. But
We all do,
yeah,
but
But you're so cool, calm, and collected in that sense where I feel like you have no anxiety, no worry. Like you know what's gonna happen. You're like, XYZ is gonna equal this, and like I'm doing it, and like nothing's been able to kind of move me from that. You know what I mean? What is that? What's kind of
Yeah. No, yeah, I think it's important to have a very clear vision. Ever since I was young, I could visualize everything, and not in like some like spiritual nonsense
voodoo shit.
Yeah, because that shit's weird. But like, I'm talking about just like seeing yourself in 5 years. If you ask someone like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Most people can't answer that question.
shit?
So I think it's super important to be able to answer that question. So just I think to answer your question, visualization has been such an important thing. But something more recently in the past couple of years has been just finding God,
Religion.
Yeah. Following Jesus, that's a really important thing to stay on the, what do they call it? The straight and narrow path, keep your head down, work, and it keeps the morals in you. Cause I feel like, in our industry, it's very easy to stray off and like
Drift away.
Do your, just feed your passions.
Yeah.
And when you feed your passions, you're not able to be working at 100%.
Right.
So especially as a DJ, like the amount of times I've been behind the decks and like chicks have been coming up trying to twerk on me and stuff, and I'm like,
oh, for sure.
The
trying
devil's
to focus.
alive. Yeah.
But I appreciate that too, because if that's happening, I'm doing something right as a DJ.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit paradoxical. But what I try to do is be a light wherever I go, and so but like very plain and simple, just know where you're going.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah.
I love it. For the record, I think Dali's probably one of my only friends that's ever invited me to church. You know what I mean? Like my guy's
It's
about
important.
it. You know?
Every Sunday, bro.
I love it. No,
Still
100%.
haven't come with me.
Well, I mean, yeah.
This guy says he's the only friend that's invited me, but he doesn't even go.
The last time I was supposed to go to church,
This guy.
Easter,
Your
family was in town.
Bro, I don't want to hear excuses. There's been plenty of Sundays between.
How many shit would you give me if I would have told you, sorry, I can't kick with your family. I gotta go.
You could have came after.
Whatever, bro. I'm with you, dog. I love it. No,
Yeah,
honestly,
bro. You'll have to come.
Yeah.
Come through.
Yeah.
Soon.
No.
You too, bro. Offers open for you.
I'm down. I grew up on. I grew up on Christianity. I went to private school from literally preschool all the way till my junior year of high school. So, and that's no excuse by any means, but I think it's maybe a little bit different where like I grew up on that. So I feel like, I don't practice it daily by any means. But I have those kind of morals and stuff instilled in me, where it's weird. Like I do stuff and it's like, it's because I had that upbringing.
Grew up that way.
But yeah, for sure. We'll go and then have a cigar after.
Let's go. But you sound unsure, but whatever.
No, let's go. I'm down.
Nah, for sure.
I'm always down.
That I feel like that for sure is one of the reasons what's kept you kind of in track. I know for me, anytime something in the world's going on and I'm like unsure, uncertain or whatever, say a prayer, talk to God, and he'll tell you, what I mean? Just follow God and everything else kind of just aligns and, it works.
And I hate to sound like so wishy-washy, but I feel like it's so relieving for me when I realize, that none of this matters.
Sure.
Really, like none of this matters. And so the thing is eternity. So like for us, we're going to have whatever we build here. We're not taking it with us.
Nope.
We're here for a short fucking time.
Not a long time.
Got to make sure we enjoy it. We appreciate it. We have moments like this, moments like, we enjoy also the hard work that you do put in. Because like you said, man, it's a short ride.
Right.
Enjoy it.
So make it worth it while you're here.
Make it fucking worth it.
And so in saying that, I sound like an absolute prude right now. That's what it's called, right?
Prude?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like a weird, weird
Sounds
word.
like a disease.
But anyways,
you got prude?
You guys know as much as anyone how important balance is too. And I think as a DJ, we do a really good job of that. Like, there's the hard work we put in, and all of it's hard work, but it's all rewarded when we go out at night. We've been a couple DJs lately. Like, we've been going out to the cigar club. Like, what?
I mean, DJs in your world, in ours, that's like, bro,
that's a normal Monday
but
night,
still,
my guy.
dude, I give us credit too, because we've toned it out a lot too.
For sure.
You know what I mean? That is chill for us.
Especially on the sports betting side.
No sports betting, kids. Dolly got me into sports betting.
Oh my God.
Hit the under, bro. You got the spread today.
How much do you guys lose the other night?
Win,
I don't
bro.
even
What are
wanna
you talking
talk
about,
about
dog? I got some bets locked in right
Wait,
now. Hold on, let me check.
Did you guys do the Panthers game?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Made some money
I've
on
been
it?
making money on the Panthers.
Nice.
Shout out to the Panthers.
Let's go.
Funny
Yeah,
story with
'cause
the
they won.
Panthers. Yeah,
They're playing tonight, right?
They're playing tonight, or I don't know what time it is, but they're playing or played tonight. But one of the first sporting events here in Miami that I went to was a Panthers game.
It's sick,
I fucking
eh?
love the Panthers. They're playing against the Kings, so it's kind of tough because I was rooting for the Kings.
Yeah.
But the Panthers just fucking smacked them.
No, I mean, I've never been to a hockey game before I went to a Panthers game, and the energy's insane.
Yeah,
and I'm
it
sure
is.
it's not just like that for the Panthers. I'm sure that's a hockey thing in general. Like,
No, it is.
That
It is.
that was crazy. Honestly, it's one of my favorite sports now.
Oh,
Bro,
yeah.
we
To
gotta
go in
then.
person?
What the
Let's
hell?
go, yeah.
Dude, I mean, it sucks the season's already going to be over. You tell
Yeah.
me now.
No,
we
but
try to buy some finals tickets. It's gonna
Next
be like
time. It's
fucking-
also so
Damn.
far from here. It's in Fort
Yeah,
Lauderdale.
it's
Yeah.
about like 45 minutes, hour. But yeah. But,
So what's next?
yeah.
What's next
lot-
for DJ, producer,
Well,
artist,
you got this
Don
album,
Dali?
right? You got this album.
Yeah.
First, it's making sure the whole Grammy situation goes right. And then after that, do you see yourself, producing more albums? Do you see yourself jumping into the DJ role? Do you maybe see yourself hopping into different genres?
Yeah, so coming out of this album, there's going to be a couple things on the cards right now. First of all, is a lot of collaborations, a lot more music coming out. Actually, in saying this, I literally have a song coming out at midnight tonight.
Let's go.
Another
What the fuck?
one, yeah,
Let's
bro.
go.
Hell yeah.
We're talking about work. We're
So we're
putting
going
in
to
that
cigars,
work.
baby.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
So I have a song coming out at midnight called Desh Gustosu. And there's also
Solo track?
it's a solo track. This one's a solo track. It's like a UK garage cross Brazilian funk
Okay.
sort of track. It's really cool. It's like the way I see it is like just like really good Miami vibes. Like literally the Spotify Canvas clip is a guy riding a jet ski.
Oh, shit. Is it a picture of
love
us?
Oh yeah, I fucking wish. I was actually about to hit you up. I was like, I was thinking, I should hit up the boys and let maybe they'll let me use their
Picture?
Yeah,
video?
bro.
video for the
That video is
canvas.
sick, huh?
It was a
Any footage
great
you ever
video.
need. Yeah.
Where'd you guys go? Where was that?
Islamorada.
Can't tell you, bro. No,
Now everyone's gonna
no,
go.
literally, it's an hour and a half from here south, bro.
Okay.
By the Keys. It's
Yeah.
Isla Morada.
And it's fucking like the
fuck, we'll
Bahamas,
have to
bro,
go,
or the
bro.
Caribbean. Oh, we're going on Saturday. Cruise with?
Let's go.
Yeah,
Get a
literally,
boat.
straight up.
Go
Getting
out.
a boat. Yeah,
Say less.
We really are.
It's a time, bro.
My
It's a
brother's
time.
in town. Going to take him to see, and we have some friends in town that want to check it out. So,
Fuck
bro,
yeah.
it's too close not to. So I feel like we're gonna, go.
Yeah.
I love the beach. I love, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's a blessing to be here and living. in
Well,
Miami.
yeah, I mean, this
know.
is the perfect place for it. And look, I've been here for 6 months, but I can't imagine two other guys that know Miami more than anyone other than you two, because you guys have been everywhere. Like,
we still have a lot to.
I know there's so much to do here, but
Yeah.
like, what are your guys' favorite spots in Miami? I know I'm a DJ, so I'm supposed to be out
spots
all
as
the
what?
time.
As far as what, like restaurants or?
Well, seeing that I'm in the music industry and all that, you guys let me know, like, what is there what is there to like see, do around here? Like, what's your favorite parts of
I've been
the
following
city?
Tyler's lead a little bit on this. We've gone out to some spots. I think recently,
I
like
think-
Boho House is
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Boho House is
Boho
a
House.
dope ass spot in Miami.
So you recommend a Don Dali gig out there?
Bro, we should all go one night.
Straight up.
It's super
Okay.
chill vibes.
It's like a
burning
backyard
sage.
vibe,
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
but it's It's cool, calm, collective. I like to explain it like it's toned down, obviously, but like a backyard, smaller space.
Yeah.
It's not as wild and all that. It's very like everyone's there, no judgment, and you could just be vibing, doing whatever you want with your people. You meet people there, obviously. The music's good. So that's a dope spot.
They better give us some fucking free entry or something next time for
I
this. You know what
know,
I'm saying?
shit.
I'm sure
I
they
shouldn't even
will.
mention it. I'm not mentioning any more names.
Obviously, you have the space, you have the 11. Those are always a good time here and there.
Do you see yourself DJing at any of these places here at Miami?
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now we're in talks with a talent agent. Just going to get a talent agent on the team. That's honestly probably one of the big next steps is starting to branch out and play more live shows.
For sure.
Because for me, for a long time, it was a focus on recording, and it still is. Recording is very much my focus. I want to produce as much good music as I can for my listeners, because I know that's what they're asking for me. Like I know when I was posting a song a week for a very long time, and I just can't keep up with that anymore. But at that time, that's what people were asking of me. So I know my fans want music.
I want music. I want to see.
That's it.
perform.
That's
I
it.
want to see Dali behind the boards, bro. Like,
Well, so that is.
you bring the energy. So
Yeah.
I'd love to see it live. You know what I mean?
Well, I have played live a million times, and every time it's so much fun. I used to play a lot more while I was in Boston, but I've sort of toned it back a little bit just so I can focus on the creation side of it. You know, I feel like that's how it always is in artistry. Like there's a time when you create, and there's a time when you show what you created. And so right now I've been in that creation mode, and I think very soon it's going to be in the, you know, show and tell, you know, of that creation. So yeah, that's going to be sick. That's going to be a lot of shows here in Miami, around the US. Go back to Australia, tour some of this music, Europe as well. So yeah, there's some really cool stuff coming up for sure.
Love to hear it.
Yeah.
Next time we have you on the podcast, what have you accomplished?
Okay.
What do you see yourself next time we have you on? Hey, this happened with the album. I did this, XYZ. What's that look like?
Vegas.
Yeah. So Vegas, I mean, we'll have to do a pod in Vegas at the Latin Grammys, because that's
Don't
honestly
tempt me with a good time.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you guys when the next pod is, if not before then.
Please.
Next pod's in Vegas. We're going to do it in Vegas. We're going to be nominated for all this new music, and the idea is just make music for people that I love to make music for. You know, people that love my music in return. You know, that's my biggest thing. The next time that we do the pod is basically just have more people just love my music. And I think that's just a progress every day. You know, more and more people start realizing and joining the wave, really, because like it's like a snowball, you know.
Sure.
We started up at the top of the hill, just like a little snowball. We're rolling. People
and
are
it's
catching
rolling
on.
super fucking quick.
It's
bro.
rolling quick.
Yeah.
People are realizing that we're doing something really special here, you know, and people need to be a part of it. So it's really cool to see as you know, the person who started it, the person that was there from the start. You know, this project is a baby of mine. So to watch that baby grow up is super important for me, and I hope that it's going to be as important for others now, because those people, especially the people that, you know, like yourselves watching me pretty much come up from the start, that's going to be a baby that they've watched grow as well.
It's personal for sure.
It's personal for everyone involved, even the people that just vaguely listen to my stuff in a you know, playing, I don't know, at a club or something, you know, wherever. You know, it's going to be special for them.
They want to see you win.
Yeah.
I love it, bro.
Oh, yeah.
All we
I
do
love
is
it.
win.
All we do is win, win,
Well,
win, no
you
matter
you
what.
embody, like I said, you know, our motto is outwork everyone, always humble. I think you embody that like to a T. You're like one of the
Humble as
most
fuck.
humble guys. Never talk about yourself. Obviously, this is different. We're interviewing you, but if you met you know, at a bar or on the street, like you're very, you know, you want to know about them and all of this stuff. And even if someone asks about yourself, you're always like, yeah, I do this, that, and that. But like, what about you? And so that's a
Yeah, I was just
testament to
Put
you
a
as
mic
well.
in front of me. We'll see
you
how that
go.
goes.
Yeah,
There you go.
Featured on Billboard. You know what I mean? About to go to the Grammys. Know what I'm saying? Don Dali, baby.
Like it's
We doing
nothing.
shit. You know what I mean? What are you doing? I don't want to hear it. All good.
I love it. I love
Oh
it.
my God, you deserve it all, man. And,
Thanks, boys.
Yeah, we're excited to be a part of it. You know, thank you for, you know, being our friend, honestly. And, you know, outside of music and outside of all this stuff that we do as well, bro, just thank you for being in our lives and just being a good person and just, you know,
For sure.
just the love, bro. So we love you, man. Thank you for being on.
Appreciate it, boys.
My guy, bro. Fucking, you got
Another
something?
one in the books. I think we're
good,
I think we're chilling.
My Don Dali.
Next
got
time you
something
see
for
us,
bro. Yeah, we'll
be in
My
Vegas.
guy's gonna be holding up a fucking Grammy. next
That's
time you
it.
see
Let's
us,
Yeah.
go.
And yeah, just to whoever's listening right now, just go in the description, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your music, DSP, whatever DSP, it's all there. Purchase it, whatever, you know, and catch a show. We'll be in a city near you for sure,
Yes,
very,
sir.
very soon.
DJ
Let's go.
Don Dali, MCGW, Passaporte. Go listen to it.
Out
stream
now.
it. Catch us on the next one, guys. 25-8, boys.
We out.